party time with Stephen and Zach, talking about things and talking about stuff. Then we talk a little bit more because there's not much else you can do because it's an audio podcast.
I like it. It's a lot better than his elevator music.
Elevator music.
Literally, he drew a complete blank. He went.
How do you even do elevator?
I
music?
don't know. It's Ben.
I thought elevator music was more of an omnipresent thing, more than something that can ever be like achieved.
Blame Ben. He took him 3 attempts to do it. God, that was a great intro. Hello everyone, I'm Stephen Hook, and across from me is the man who puts no in man bun and the lead singer of Locus. It's Zach Jones.
Hi Stephen. How are you today, Stephen?
I'm with my face. I'm okay. How are you with your face?
I'm alright. I'm glad you're good, Stevie Poops.
It starts so early. Cool.
My notes consisted of like the first part of my notes were words that annoy Stephen.
Great. I overheard you talking to Sam and Fran about it, and you have like a 3-step plan.
Yeah. No. It's like it was like stages of. I tried to work out where things could lead from other things, so that I tried to get as much annoyance into a small space of time.
Great. Looking forward to that.
Usually I'd plan it in my head, but this time I thought I'd plan it like this because I live my daily life to annoy people, as you know.
Yeah, I'll agree to that.
Exactly.
So as a reminder, I have a bit of a reputation for having a short temper.
Yeah, you do.
And it's exactly the same as what Ben said. And instead of people, like supporting me and making sure I get the proper help that I need, people sort of laugh at it and encourage me to do this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Be good friends.
I mean, because everyone knows to be a good friend with somebody, you have to annoy them. And it's only fun to annoy somebody if they react good, and you react good all the time, Stephen.
Great. Looking forward to it.
I mean, there's no point in annoying somebody if they're just going to like shrug it off. You want somebody to shout at you.
I mean, you could just not annoy people.
Yeah, but what's the fun in that?
I guess.
Like, I like to see emotional trauma in all of my friends. Then I feel better.
You morbid bastard. Cool. So, as second guest, you kind of got free reign. The only thing you couldn't do was alcohol.
Yeah.
Because Ben made me regret my life decisions there. So what did you bring?
Well, Stephen, I wanted to know your thoughts on people, and mainly people that are younger than us, people that are good at things.
I know exactly what you're talking about as well.
So, for example, like people say in the year below us at university, or whatever, who just have their life really planned out and just know where they're going, and are just generally together with things.
I've tensed up so much I stabbed myself in the arm. And I know exactly what it's like, because there's a few people in a year below us who have started their own company.
Yeah.
Which we, as au pairing, frequently get pissed off at because they're so much better than us at everything that we've ever tried to accomplish.
And we just don't understand why.
No, because when we first got here, I remember our lecturer, Kevin, was adamant, if you turn up to every single lecture, you will get the best marks. I have turned up to all but about 4 or 5 lectures across 3 years, which I think is pretty admirable for a student. And I'm scraping, clawing for decent grades.
And what about all those people who haven't turned up to lectures?
They are the ones who will leave it till a week before it's due in, play TF2, and still get a decent fucking grade.
I'm really sensing some pent-up anger, Steve.
Oh, the worst part is, these are what people that we lose to at the beginning, where obviously they're doing really well despite the fact they don't deserve it. I have to demonstrate for them next year. So I'm teaching them how to be better than me.
When they're already better
When they are already better than me.
How do you feel about that?
It's fucking dumb. I hate it. I don't understand why. I'm a good person despite this. I've done nothing to deserve these people being successful while I'm left in the dirt.
Have you ever thought about not being a good person? So when you demonstrate, teach them really bad practice, so make them shitter. Bring them down to your level, Stephen.
if I had the choice, I'd rather claw up to them. But if I say, no, you're doing this wrong, you want to do this, they're going to be ones that, no, like, the Surface package is not going to be right for that. You need to do like this. Like, well, if you knew that, why did you call me over?
Yeah, that's what I thought would be the most annoying part about these kind of people. And what immediately sprung to mind when when I thought about this was the incredible time we had at our final ever game jam, which just kind of hit the nail on the head, should I say? When it was.
First of all, explain what a game jam is.
Yeah, it's a good point. So game jam, make a game in 24 hours. So you get given a theme, and then they want you to try and just come up with an idea and then make it into a game. And then at the end, they vote on how good it is and stuff like that. And we competed in a game jam. Team Correct Quest, woo, plus down. And in which were we the only third years?
We were the only third years.
We were the only third years, and everyone else was either second, and there were even some fucking first years in there. God damn it.
They won as well.
Yeah, and the greatness of it was the fact that in the end, how many awards were there?
There were 7 groups for 6 awards.
And as luck would have it, we were the only group to not get an award.
I remember thinking, like, when I first did this game jam, because we had the guys from Rockstar come down, I wanted to stick around a bit afterwards, because, getting a good bit of Rockstar, it's fucking Rockstar. This time, when they basically said, so yeah, you are literally the worst, we couldn't even give you a booby prize, I was like, I'm done, I'm out. I want to leave, and then I'm going to work later, which was equally depressing.
Yeah. You're just kind of done with life at that point.
Oh, man. I'm glad I didn't have to walk over the bridge. I thought it jumped off.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I did contemplate drowning myself in the Brayford every time I walked past it that day.
Every time, because I've spoken to some of the lecturers about it, it's like, why am I so shit? Why can't I do better, or at least do the same as everyone else? It's like, oh, well, people just pick up coding better than other people. It's like, that's a crock of shit.
Yeah, it's like, you promised me if I worked hard that I would get good grades, and what is this? You'd think they would kind of see the fact that as third years, we've never done well, should I say, in a single game jam that we've been in. But this one was really it was like a social experiment, because you saw that us third years were so shit compared to all the other lower years. Maybe our year was just shit.
Yeah, and you would have thought, by now, why is it that everyone else is excelling apart from this group of people in particular?
Why do you think that, Stephen? Why do you think that we might have? What kind of wall do you think hit us?
I don't know, but it's literally happened. Anyone who knows D&D and that sort of thing, understand the term Mary Sue.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound like one, but it's literally happened everywhere. Like, my last high school, we got kicked out of the main building because it was getting repairs. So we were like, okay, so that room used to be there, so we'll just fit you into this one over here, no big deal. Come to uni, even at the start of A-levels, I was the last year to do ICT as an A-level. Then they started doing computing, which is obviously the more coding side of it, and learning how computers work. We were the last year to do SATs in year 9. I think we might have been the last ones to do it in year 6 as well, but I haven't.
Education.
Yeah, and then we get here. Literally, when we became second years, they introduced. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's along the lines of parallel. Basically, they get taught more intricates about how a computer works.
Yeah.
Instead of, this is the thing.
How does it work? We don't know.
You might.
See, I had the best experience of that with my A-level, because I did computing at A-level, and I just remember the first kind of lesson I had with my lecturer, where his description of a computer was, he picked up, he had just bits of a computer just lying around the classroom. He just picked up the hard drive and or the motherboard, and he was just like, you see this stupid machine, and then just throws it on the floor, and he's like, you need to tell it what to do. And I'm just like, what? How is that? This isn't giving me much confidence. But it's still depressing that I've probably done more work computing wise at A-level computing than I think all of my degree.
Yeah, it's bit that hurts me is I was meant to be a mechanic. Way back when, like, all throughout GCSE, I had no interest in coming to university at all. And because of various different things, I had to drop a few GCSEs. So when I went into, like, the A-level time, I was going to do the equivalent of a BTEC in vehicle something, basically learning how to be a mechanic.
Yeah.
And, like, literally, as we were about to leave year 11, my math teacher and my IT teacher said, you'd be really good at maths and you'd be really good at IT. So I thought about it all summer, and literally 2 weeks before the start of sixth form, I switched from a level 2 in vehicle mechanics to a level 3 in IT and maths. And then ever since then, it's been downhill. Just like one disaster after another, to be honest.
So really, you could say that the spiralling down of your life is all because of that one teacher?
Yeah.
Well, at least we pinpointed your issues.
Pinpointed the moment where everything started turning to shit.
Now you can work on a plan to get revenge on that one teacher. And that could be your life's goal. Then you'll have your life planned out ahead of you.
But
Assassin. Stephen Hook, assassin.
yes, because there's nothing more sneaky than someone 6'3".
You don't need to be sneaky, you can just be intimidating.
Have you met me?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean...
Well, you could just... You could hug people to death? I don't know. Like, I feel like you don't love people very often, so that if you hug them, maybe that's like, will kill them.
I think if I hugged someone, I'd be in a position where I'd be more uncomfortable than they were.
And maybe then you would scare them because they'd be uncomfortable, and you'd scare them so much they would kill themselves.
It's an interesting theory.
I mean, I think you need to work on it, but it could be a technique that could work if, Stephen Hook assassin is going to be your profession.
Is that instead of like PhD, it's just Stephen Hook assassin?
Yeah, yeah. It's like you don't go for subtlety, and you prove that with the fact that you have assassin in your name.
Oh man,
But-
imagine the police.
Did you kill this person? Look, just because I'm called Stephen Hook assassin doesn't mean that I kill people.
You're stereotyping. Just don't go near the bins.
Just pull the racism card. You're being racist to assassins, my kind.
But
I was going to say I know exactly what you mean about, like in our year it just constantly seems to have been shit. Like the year after us always seems to have gotten something that we always wanted. And the biggest example I have of that was back in. It's going to sound really petty compared to like our really detailed conversation about like university students and like opening companies and shit like that, but. Back in primary school,
oh fucking hell!
I remember being so desperate for like a climbing frame or like like an actual kind of like proper playground of like stuff to do and things like that instead of just having a yard.
Yeah.
And then the year after I left and went to high school, I remember they got a playground and I was so annoyed. I was like so sad. Like, they had the works. They had like a proper like little area that was all sectioned off, and they had like stuff to climb on and stuff to like swing on. And I think they had a zip line as well. And I was like, this is a good playground. And I was so sad.
So literally from the dawn of time, it's been fuck you guys.
Exactly. Like right from when I was born, I was just like, no, the year after is going to be nice. The year that you're in is shit.
Because like even now, I mean, all the years below us now, they're about to get a swanky new building. Like several £1 million have been put into this new building. It's going to open up, I think, Christmas time. Isn't it? And they're going to have all that fancy stuff.
Yeah, and what did we get?
We got Jason Bradbury.
Oh no!
The man who went on record to say we don't need computer scientists because robots can program themselves. You bald bastard!
Oh, it just doesn't even make any sense. Like, how will they program themselves if you don't program them to program themselves? And what if they die? What if their circuit break? Who's gonna fix them?
It's like a washing machine. A washing machine will wash your clothes, but you need input to get it to do the job.
You need to actually put the clothes in.
Yes!
That's the most apt description I've ever heard of Jason Bradbury is a washing machine.
I mean, like, in a few years' time, and Fallout 4 does come true, and we've all got our own Colesworth, maybe. But it's not Fallout 4, strangely enough.
Yeah, and also, like, there's this whole theory about computers getting so advanced they program themselves. But then what comes with that is this whole idea about human extinction and the fact that then like nanobots will build themselves and they'll just destroy us. So I mean, I don't think that should be something we're hoping for, really. Like I'm not being like a conspiracy theorist or anything, but I'm saying, you know,
It's there.
everybody run for your lives, robots are coming. That's all I'm trying to say.
It was a great article I saw a while ago where it's basically they made like AI for a robot, and it was like one of the very first robots to have independent thought.
Okay.
And this robot basically said to its creator, its owner, it's like, I like you. We'll keep you in the zoo. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, when we take over, we'll keep you in the zoo, in the human zoo. I'll keep you as a pet.
Well, that reminds me of the most like depressing book that I haven't actually read the book. Like I think it's just a short story.
Yeah.
But I you know, I'm the worst kind of person who read the synopsis on Wikipedia, and I was like, oh, okay, that sounds like it would be interesting if I ever did want to read.
I do the same with horror films all the time.
Yeah. And yeah, the whole premise of it is it's called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. And
Jesus Christ.
The whole premise of it is that it's in like a post-apocalyptic world where it was like kind of Cold War type era, and there was America, Russia, and I think China all had supercomputers.
Yeah.
And then I think the Russian one gained sentience, and then linked with the other ones, and then launched all of the nuclear weapons in the world at the same time, destroyed the entire world. And then the story takes place in this post-apocalyptic bit, and it's these 5 survivors of that, and they're the last of the human race in like a kind of an ice cave or something that's like the result of this war. And the supercomputer just tortures them constantly because he hates that humans gave him like this incredible mind and stuff, but it's just a box. Like it has no body and it can't do anything, and it's like really resentful of humankind. And the story follows these 5 people. They manage to kind of escape. They're fed grey goo is what the food is described as, and they have to go and they like escape, and they're like, maybe we've heard tell of some cans of baked beans in the ice caves. So literally it's a quest for baked beans is the entirety of the story, which at that point wouldn't sound that depressing, but then it kind of gets to the end and they all kill each other except for one person, and then the one person gets kind of vaporized into like this weird kind of being that would never be able to escape but still feels pain. And then like the final bit of the book is apparently like a bit of a monologue where this person's like, oh, I'm just so glad that I could kill the others so that they didn't have to live through this pain. They're finally free. And it's like, God, this is so depressing.
Bloody hell.
And so ever since I read about this, I'm like, I'm just scared of robots. Like, let's just not make AI. We don't need it. We don't need it. Like, I don't really understand this whole kind of obsession with needing a machine to do our work. Like, we could just be less lazy.
Yeah. He says, like, when I did this with Ben earlier, I turned up 5 minutes late. This is my own thing. He turned up 10 minutes early.
Well, that's the thing. I was quite impressed. I was thinking, oh no, I've arrived here early, and Stephen's always late, so I'm probably going to be here for a while. And then you arrived, and I looked at the watch, and it was like 5 to. I was like, oh, Stephen, look at you getting excited for a podcast.
So that's because I made it so I won't go home because then I'll be late. If I stay in the uni all day.
Wait, so were you just...
I was in the shed.
Pool?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually had a bit of an idea for... It's a little bit of a game that would come from us being annoyed at people starting their own company and then basically just being good.
Yeah.
Because people being good is annoying. Even people in our year that are good. Like,
I was gonna say
that's annoying.
Like, there's people who, despite the fact we've said like second years and like the people that have got it better, there are people who have had the same education as us and are still doing better than us.
Yeah, like 3 out of the 4 people out that we know got into the Rockstar position, and there were 5 positions open. It's like, ah! And then it's especially annoying for me because of the whole story about me being an idiot and messing it up, where I just didn't go to the interview because I just didn't read the email. Because, I'm a smart fella.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I suppose sometimes we kind of bring it on ourselves. But, that's for another time. We'll cry about that later.
I always do.
So I had a thought, Stephen. If you were... Well, let's say us. So take us back to second year. We're now second years. Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's make our own company. So, Stephen, what will our company be called?
Be called?
Yes, I want a name that defines everything about our beliefs and our morals and just everything that we want to achieve in the world.
What, our morals then or from our morals now?
No, we're the same people, but we're now second years, and we hate all the third years because we're dicks and stupid second years. God damn it.
I just keep feeling burning hatred.
Burning hatred.
But that could work.
Burning hatred? Okay, I like it. So in
imagine that, like, if you start like there's an e-sport going on, League of Legends sponsored by Burning Hatred.
So it's like a very customer facing industry, and then it's just like usually it's quite happy and quite fun. It's burning hatred. I suppose it's kind of like there's like visceral games and things like that.
Yeah.
So I suppose it kind of works. So on that line, now we've got our company name. What could our product be? Like, what would we sell? Because we don't have to do games. We could do games, but you know, we're second years. The world's our oyster. We can do anything.
I remember when I believed that.
Yeah, well, I don't think I ever hit that belief. Maybe in first year when I was getting like 280 marks in things.
Yeah.
But from second year, I was like, OOP can just go suck a dick. Like those modules in second year were some of the worst. Yeah, like I will still remain adamant, like saying that I probably did more work for A-level computing than I did all through the degree. I would probably rate my like education difficulty as second year of college, second year of uni. So like I think second year of college was so much harder than than uni, but second year of uni was the worst year of uni.
Oh, it's the worst year ever.
Like it's just like transition period where you go the first year is like la-di-da, it's nice. It's a new environment. This is quite easy work. Let's just miss lectures and stuff, except for you.
Yeah.
Because you're goody two shoes going to get good grades, Stephen.
But making sure it actually turned up 10 minutes late.
Yeah. Well, that's your thing. If you turn up 10 minutes late to every lecture, people will remember you as the guy who turns up 10 minutes late.
It's true.
But yeah, you had like first year was quite nice, and third year was kind of like, I'm used to it by now, and second year was, oh my god, what is this?
Why?
Why are you doing this to me? Why do you hate me? What did I do wrong in my life to deserve this? So yeah, what do you think our product could be? Like, because it could be games.
Yeah.
Like, so if it is games, let's say it's games. What genre would we specialise in? Like, let's come up with an IP. I want to have like a game that will last for generations. That will be like, you know, part of people's childhoods.
Well, I always tend towards like puzzle sort of games.
Okay.
But no, we had an idea for a game. If you remember in first year.
Oh God, did we? What
The
was
Rooster
it?
Teeth game.
Oh yeah, that was a whole thing. I can't even remember. Do you remember what it was?
Basically, we were going to do it that we were going to put each member of Rooster Teeth into the game, and based on their persona, they were going to have special powers. Like for instance, Michael, because he rage quits, he was going to have like a yelling, like Fusradar sort of thing.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
And then annoyingly, someone's actually made that game.
Wait, have they?
Yeah, I think Rooster Teeth commissioned it.
Oh, what? Oh.
Just to twist that now about how terrible as human beings we are.
Oh, we should have made that. We should have made Burning Hatred in second year, and then they could have made that as an IP. Okay, so right, okay, so screw the Rooster Teeth idea. It's already taken. We don't need that.
Cool.
Let's just we'll make copyright infringement claims against them in the future. Like I'm sure I've got some notes written down or something.
Of course.
So let's go for a puzzle game. Okay. But then we need to make a puzzle game that's got like a story. So we need like Peggle mixed with Gears of War.
Jesus.
So you need maybe people. It's like a first-person shooter, but you know, like those bubble shooting games where you like match bubbles. It's a first-person shooter where you are the first person and you shoot the cannon that fires the bubbles.
I like it.
And it's a first-person bubble match 3 game, and it's what could the story be? It could be that how shit is the story for like Angry Birds? Like that did well with all the money and the stuff.
Literally, the story to Angry Birds is pigs came and stole eggs off flightless birds. In the film, they literally like, who wants to see a bird fly? Wacky! It's like, no, birds do fly. That's what they do. That's kind of their thing.
Well, I mean, Angry Birds did well. It's kind of a famous thing. How about the story? If it's like a bubble thing, how about the story is that a race of bubble people came to Earth and floated around and got on people's eyes and stung their eyes and then made everyone blind. So then now there's a army of people who can still see, who are now fighting against the bubble people. Sound good, right?
I like it.
Yeah, it can earn money. It could get money.
And the main protagonist, his wife and child got hit by the virus, because that's got to happen every game.
Yeah. And like the kind of at the end of each act, he just like looks at a picture of him and like says something like I'll come back for you, or I will never forget you, or things like that. And it's just, he's so brooding the whole time.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end of the second one, because obviously it's going to be a trilogy.
Of course.
At the end of the second game, you find out that his wife and son were turned into bubble people. No. So then he's got this conflict of he's been killing bubbles all his life, but now he doesn't want to kill his wife and his son. And then his wife and his son are the main antagonists of the second game.
No,
the third game.
Third game.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's deep.
I like it. And then the third game could finish with him shooting bubbles at himself and turning himself into a bubble, and then it's like, oh, now he's a bubble, and now it's like he lives with them.
And that right at the very end, a post-credit scene, there's just like one more, like a guy in an army boot with a gun takes aim at him. Dun dun dun!
And then you could spawn a whole next trilogy where it all follows that one guy, and then it's that guy up until the point, and then the final boss of the second trilogy is the guy and his wife and his son, all three of them, and it's
Mecha
like
bubble.
Yeah, and it's like, because it's a lot like, it's normally like a match 3 game, but they are already 3 and they are not matched.
Dun dun dun.
I like it. You need to and what could the game be called? Like, I mean, let's think about our past games. We've got Gate Hero, which was essentially just Infinite Runner mixed with Guitar Hero.
Woo.
We have
Infinitype.
Infinitype, that was it. That was what it was called. So it needs maybe like a single one-word thing to kind of fit that thing. I can't even think of puns this quickly. Like,
of all people, how can you not think of puns this quickly?
Wait, I've got it. Right, bubbles are, what are they made from?
Usually liquid.
Yeah, but like they're made from like soap, right?
Yeah.
So the franchise is called Soap Dies.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh man, that takes me back to a horrible time in my life.
What was this horrible time?
Back when I could actually, I had time to play video games.
Yeah, God, don't remind me of games.
And I was browsing YouTube or something. It was not long after Modern Warfare 2 came out.
Okay.
And then I was just browsing through, and it was completely, I think it was like a music video or something.
Okay.
And I scrolled down, and it's just one comment by one guy that said, "Soap Dies." I was like, no! Because 2 words, I've never read 2 words before in my life and known exactly what they mean, other than Prince dead.
Prince. I assume you're referring to the pop star Prince dying,
yes.
not the Prince of the Dead.
Oh, that would be pretty cool.
Maybe that could be our next thing. Like, but after you do like a big franchise, you need to have a single game. So then we have Prince Dead, and it's all just about being deaf, but trying to live a normal life
and making some funky fresh beats.
Yeah, so it's then. In fact, no. Scrap off the whole game idea. At this point, we branch into making films, because that sounds like a really nice, family-friendly, fun time. Like kind of Christmas time video film. So then it could be all about the Prince of Death. So his father is Death, But then he's kind of like, but I don't really want to be killing people for all my life. So then it's like some hip 21-year-old guy or whatever, and he like goes to New York, because it always takes place in like New York or somewhere like that, and he finds someone he's in love with, but he can't touch her because he'll kill her because he's got the whole death thing. I like this. This could be a good family film.
I like it.
Coming
to Christmas 2018.
Prince dead
after like 2 trilogies.
I really enjoy the fact that you had the recent events with Prince dying, and then it's just Prince dead. Woo! Coming soon. Who would play the Prince of Death?
Well, when you said like young, I was thinking maybe Evan Peters.
Who the hell's Evan Peters?
He's the really fast one from X-Men. He was in American Horror Story.
Yes,
We have branched off so much.
Yeah, but to be fair, now we're kind of becoming the douchey people that I brought on for you to hate. Now we are the hated.
I didn't need help hating myself or you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, do you think you hate me more or less now that I've brought this out?
But the fact is, because we put so much thought into this game, I just know in about 4 or 5 years' time, there's going to be like a Steam Greenlight video featuring like a first-person bubble shooting game. And I don't know where you'll live, and I don't know where I'll be living, but whatever is happening, I'm going to find you and kick the shit out of you.
Because it would just be the whole Rooster Teeth thing again. It'd be like, we've got this great idea, and then somebody else would just take it from us. Just take it from my cold, dead hands.
Maybe that's why like second years and all the other third years are like that much more superior, because we obviously we talk about ideas quite often,
yeah,
and we vocalise them. Maybe they're just like overhearing us and then stealing all our ideas.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe we should kill that. Can we get Stephen Hook Assassin to kill them?
I'll see if he's busy.
Okay. Yeah, because nobody actually knows his true identity.
It's a secret.
We all kind of wonder. Like he always kills people and says Captain Hook, and then he kills people with a hook.
So I'm going to turn into Jeepers Creepers killing a man.
Yeah. Oh God, Stephen, that's a dated reference. Stop.
I was watching Watch Mojo. Leave me alone.
That's essentially a university life in like 2 words. Watch Mojo.
Yeah.
Because the amount of times I think that I've procrastinated, been like, I should be doing work, and it's like, ooh, top 10 horror films, and then I just see on the side like top 10 comedy films, and then I just watch all this crap.
See, like the other day I went through, again, it's kind of off topic, but I went through our awful like list of Watch Mojos. I went from like most depressing deaths in a TV series, most depressing deaths in a movie, most depressing deaths in video games, top 10 like deaths in sports, and featured like someone getting crushed by a snowmobile.
Oh God.
And Marco Simoncelli, who got like crushed by a superbike. I was sat there like, what am I doing?
Yeah, I'm just watching people die as my life dies around me.
It's like, one thing is like video game characters and film characters, obviously not legit, yo. Yeah. But then like, this is a footage. That's the last time they took a breath.
And you're just sitting there.
I'm just sitting there
casually
like, eating my cereal, drinking my tea, like, I've got to go record a podcast later today.
I'm not dead though. That's essentially what our kind of consumerism has become. It's like watching videos of other people dying, and then you just kind of take it as it is, because you're like, well, I'm not dead, and I'm watching the video of it, so well. No, like I've recently, instead of Watch Mojo, because that's like the classic procrastination. I kind of dip in and out of different things. So Watch Mojo is one that just comes up, and I'll just click on it. But then sometimes I actually go off on a tangent myself and watch like Zero Punctuation was one that for a time I would just watch loads of. Recently, it's been like, you wouldn't appreciate this, but because of the new season of Game of Thrones is out, watching that, and then sometimes I'm kind of like, why is that person there, or things like that, and then it would just be suggested on my videos, like this clip from Game of Thrones. I'll click on it, and then I'll be like, "Oh, I forgot that happened." And I'll click on, and I've just gone on a trail, and I've basically, I think, watched all previous seasons of Game of Thrones just as little clips on YouTube. Also, I was thinking, how apt is it that we got off on a tangent from the original theme by talking about Watch Mojo? So now it's not even that we're actually watching the videos, we're just talking about it.
Watch Mojo's invading our actual lives. What have we become? This is why we're shit.
Yeah, this is kind of it. Like you were saying earlier about us just talking about these ideas and them stealing it. I think it's partly that, and also the fact that we talk about them and don't actually do them.
That too, yes.
Like I remember coming up with this massive like concept for like an RPG type thing with Yuki, and like coming up with this really nice world space, and then we had like one talk about it, and that was it. Like we were like, yeah, we could definitely do this, and we just never did.
What makes it more depressing is obviously, like I said, I've been sat in the pub all day just doing massive research
And drinking.
and
I know you did that a lot.
heavily.
Yeah.
As anyone who listened last week will find out. I was glancing out because I was trying not to work without opening up Watch Mojo, and I glanced across, and one of those second years, I just saw him walk into our computing block. I was like, cool, yeah, I guess. And then a couple minutes later, I saw the other two walk in. I was like, no, they're going off to do better.
You know what I think a perfect kind of finishing reminder is, kind of going back to the original concept of people being good at things. So, how, like, you've got those guys who made a company, and like that's pretty annoying. You know, they set up a limited company, but I suppose at this point they haven't done anything except bitch about which one of them is the CEO.
Yeah.
Which I find hilarious, by the way. Like, but what were they talking about?
I don't. They were literally like, they had like a decision they had to make, and they basically kept saying like, I don't understand why he's CEO and I'm CEO, because we basically make the same question, like, but he's like a delegate, and like, what? Because it got to the point, as soon as I heard he's the CEO, I'm CEO, like what the decisions, I was like, I can't believe it, and I just like went into this like dark spiral. Everything went black and white. I just like stared at my computer screen. I only got woke up when I said, so that's it. It's like, bye.
But yeah, so obviously them, besides that stupidness, have like kind of, they're quite ambitious. They've planned for quite a lot, but that's kind of their own company. It's their own idea. You know, that's something, and that's kind of something that they're building. And I suppose that's kind of admirable, except for the fact that they're second years. But how annoying is it that during that showcase event, I was just talking to somebody who's like somebody who's a first year, and then she knows this second year, and he walks over, and then he's just like, yeah, a guy from Google was here, and he just offered me an internship. What? Just straight up, just because of like his like coding in something at the showcase, and I was like, why are you even at the showcase event, you piece of shit?
Why is life so hard?
Yeah, that's so yeah, he got an internship at Google just from some shitty showcase event that I was working on, because my work wasn't even good enough to display.
I didn't even get invited.
Yeah, no.
And my comments for my dissertation was just, you did it. Literally, it's this one line that says, you performed the demonstration.
That's good, at least.
Like, if they're going to tell me I'm shit, at least give me something that I can actually build on.
I suppose at least it could have said you didn't come to your demonstration. So at least you got like some sort of positive feedback.
I would have just been lying then.
But now you can say that 100% of your feedback was positive.
I guess.
Yeah, you can put that in your CV, Stephen. You'll get some sick jobs for that.
Oh yeah, totally. Going from cinema, now the world.
Yay!
No, because a second year's going to steal my job.
Well, no, it's okay, because they're just going to make their own companies and do it.
Oh yeah. Oh god. What if we get employed by them? Like, we don't know at this time. They've got so big that when we go in, it's like, oh yeah. So who's actually chairman of this? Like, oh, this guy's like, oh no. Oh no. No.
I think at that point, suicide is our only option.
Yeah, let's hope they have a big building. Just jump off the top.
I mean, I prefer more the idea of maybe getting like a really big shotgun and then just like sitting in their office and waiting for them to just walk through the door, and then boom.
To make sure it's not just like the secretary, like, can I get you any refreshments?
Yeah, that wouldn't be too good. But apart from that, because as long as you traumatize somebody when you kill yourself, I feel like then it's kind of worthwhile.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you don't traumatize someone, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you want to. There's this, there's the whole idea that, when I die, I want to be remembered. Well, you'll be remembered by that one person for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. And then when they like slip into psychosis and their family breaks apart, they'll remember him too.
Yeah, exactly. You will be known as the sole purpose of that family breaking apart.
Life goals.
I like it. I feel like if you're naming these podcasts, that should be the name of this one.
Life goals immediately. I hate secretaries. I hate the young. Cool. Have you got any more parts of your several part plan?
No, I was the rest of my. You kind of covered it yourself because part of my discussion was going to go back to uni work and how shit your dissertation went in terms of your thing. So I don't want to bring that up because I can see it's just breaking your heart.
One day I will tell the story of my hardback dissertation. Today is not that day. I said that 4 times during Ben's one. Story for different day. So at one point I'm going to do a special. It's all the stories I said I was going to tell.
I like that idea. So look forward to podcast 100 when Stephen does that.
Well, I'm still unemployed.
Yay! Also,
cool.
I suppose my finishing remark would just be this podcast was pretty cute, Stephen.
Oh, you fucking asshole. Why would you say that? Right, that's been Zach.
Yeah, bye.
I've been me. Don't come back.